What's up, guys? Tim in the North back with another AoE2 ranked match. Today we are in my personal hell, Arena. My opponent is BCS playing as the Portuguese, and I custom into the Ethiopian because I am still working on archery civs. Yeah, good stuff. We are going to speed up a little bit through Dark Age, just because Dark Age things and Arena are pretty much the same. However, I have been working off of a more structured build order, just not efficiently, as you can see here. But yeah, so it's 6 to food, 3 to wood. I believe I'm supposed to go boar for the town center, but I delayed the boar slightly because I had hunt that I was able to bring in. So, but anyway, it's 14 up to food, and then I think like 4 to wood, and then throw 2 on gold. Just because I have been getting beaten to Castle Age consistently in Arena, and I cannot seem to win Arena games. And I think I just need to get to Castle Age faster. What I do on Castle Age at that point is my fault, but I think up to this point it's just me not been getting to Castle Age fast enough. So I am gonna beat my opponent to Feudal Age, which doesn't really mean much. This isn't efficient at all, but I have a lot of food rolling in here, more than my opponent. So I'm doing well in that perspective. Actually, hold up. Sorry. There's a reason why I have more food than my opponent right now, and why I'll probably beat him to Castle Age. It's because there are militia out here, and I guess the idea was to get me to react sooner to the attacks on the wall. Unfortunately, my capture rate is not showing ELO. I think this opponent was at 1,000 ELO at the time of this match, but so this is aggressive, right? We're not yet at the 800 food mark, and we've gone super heavy into our what is going on here? We've gone super heavy into our, this is the first time I'm watching, so bear with me. We went super heavy into the buildings to get to Castle Age. Oh, okay, so we're throwing a mill out down here. Oh, that's why these guys were out here. They're out here to protect these vills. Okay, that makes sense now. I stay in my base for the majority of this match, as you're about to tell. You can tell from this, because I never really ventured out here, and I think, did my scout die? No, I ended up attacking this wall to see if I could pull whatever was going on back here. I was expecting like a castle drop at this point, but anyway, we're rolling. I've clicked up to Castle Age. Personally, I'm throwing a bunch on stone. This is not part of the build. Again, I am in fear of being castle dropped like all the time. It's a phobia at this point. So I'm trying to get my stone up so I could drop a castle. But my castle has also clicked up to Castle Age at this point. I will have the Castle Age advantage. I'm trying to clear this front gate. This is a match for the ages here. So I figured, oh, run him in. We'll take him under the town center and clean him up. But I got hit here. I'm like, oh, he just gotta get hit one more time. So he's running at an angle, and we both just get knocked out here. So, oh well. And my opponent laughed at that. So, anyway, my opponent is still, oh, he's just finishing up the chickens out here. Now going to berries. So, I don't know. What is What is your guys' thoughts on this? I mean, I feel like it's the strat, right? Like, you're getting food, but I feel like it's risky though. I mean, I guess this isn't risky because you'd expect pressure to come at the gates. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I get that the developers want you to probably play for food out here, but you have enough consistent food coming in here with the wood on your tree lines. So I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. I should probably play it more and try to contest the food resources outside of my walls. Obviously, we play for stone and gold, right? So why not? This would have been a really bad castle drop for me because my opponent could go back to stone or gold if they opted for a castle, right? Same thing here, I guess, on their end. What are we doing? I think we're going to build a castle. We have enough stone for it. Yeah. So we're gonna drop a castle out here. And we're going to... I have no military, so I can't see this at all. Okay, we dropped the castle back here. To protect the stone, gold, and chickens. Okay, putting down house walls to make sure that you can get the castle up. I do have a monastery down. I want to... at this point, I'm thinking about relics. So, anything to get extra gold coming in early is a plus in my book. Didn't really know what to do with these guys, so I put 4 people to build a couple houses, and we're dropping a lumber camp here. So, no second town center for me, and that's largely because I'm struggling with stone because of the castle, so I just got over 100. And I don't necessarily have the wood for a castle either. So I send this monk out to play this relic, because I don't know about this castle yet. And now I've seen the knights there, so I'm like, all right, I'll pull back to the castle and stay here. But one conversion, there's not a whole lot I'm going to do with the militiamen. This is actually a pretty solid town center, I guess. Puts it on gold. You have a wood line here. It's also under the protection of a castle, if needed. I'm finally getting my second town center down. So this is... I see this, and I'm like, I have to go with more monks. Because he's going to try to petard the walls down, and I know that, you know, at this point, he has a castle down, right? Because he's got petards, so obviously the organ guns are coming. So I know that he's probably wanting to petard the walls down and come in with organ guns. I did not know, however, until at some point in this match that I am not going to be able to convert the organ guns with monks. But I'll do my best to do the petards, and I'm gonna have 4 monks onto the field. I'm trying to get better at using monks, but yeah, it's not a strong point for me. I don't know all their techs, but you know, I did when I tried to convert it. I got an error message saying that I think it's redemption, or I forget what it was. But I went to the monastery and started to like look for the tech, and I couldn't see it. But anyway, some pressure coming here, so this is going to be interesting. I'm going to try converting the petards. Fortunately, I do have three monks, but one of the petards is going to blow up on the gates here. So we're at about 50% here, and there's plenty of military might here to get this wall down. So I have to start thinking about what my play is here. I can try to get rid of the knights with the monks. I have a second monk out, and this one should have a charge, yeah. So he's converting one of these knights. My opponent just doesn't care. He just wants into the walls. And really, the organ guns will take care of the knight for the most part. I'm trying to bring another monk in here, another petard coming in. This one is definitely not going to be stopped. That wall is going to come. So obviously this is walled up and there's a castle here that my opponent doesn't want to deal with. I'm trying to get whatever protection I can here so he can't come through. So that's blocked off. Just within range of the organ guns right here. This is obviously uncomfortable. So this is where I find out that I can't convert the organ. I know that I do try to target one of them at some point. So my opponent's using the market a little bit. So got another conversion here. I've done well with the monks for the most part. I haven't done much with, you know, the converted units, but you know, it's equivalent to killing a unit, I guess, right? In some sense. Looks like we might get it, and we got another conversion. And that knight is also going to go down to organ guns. So I'm trying to put any kind of barrier here that I can. I am trying to get some kind of range unit going here. And I now have enough stone because I bought the stone for another castle. So this will give me the barrier I need. And I think this was open the entire time. I didn't even realize it. But this castle has way too many bills on it to be denied at this point. So my opponent is going to take whatever they can get. So I do currently have a Vil lead. So trying to garrison what I can here, and the organ guns were cleaned up. So I'm on 3 TCs. I dropped the third one back here. And I'm now going to try to play these relics. Obviously this one is under castle protection, so that's not going to go too well for me. So I'm dropping a 4th town center here. I really want to try to ramp up my Vil count if possible, because I know that I'm in trouble here. And there was a lot of pressure. So my assumption is that my opponent went in real hard with military at some point, and I have the better economy right now. But my opponent did click up to Imperial Age, which is going to put a little bit of panic into my system, because I'm like, oh shit, Trebs are now coming. And I don't really feel like I have an answer to Trebs, like, at all. So yeah, as soon as that ticks up, I'm in a little bit of a dread situation. But I'm gonna do my best to eco my way out of it, I guess, say. My opponent's just now getting economy upgrades. So double bit axe. Pretty far behind on res, 3,000 res difference. Third town center is now down for my opponent. I'm putting my 4th down. Stone is alright, so we have a little bit of stone here. Gold is still pretty healthy looking, but I'm still pretty far away from Imperial Age. And my opponent is just now up and immediately queues up a Treb. And there's 4 organ guns in here with a knight. Yeah. These 2 monks came out here to grab the relic that was sitting there. We did manage to get that. I should have just sent the second one to grab that relic for just a little bit more of a gold trickle. But there's the Treb. So at this point, I'm thinking I definitely need to get to Imperial Age myself. I'm gonna have to push my way back. I'm not trying to queue up too many, like, Vils at this point. I kind of want my food to start building up here. But, yeah, we're I'm laying some more farms down. I'm on 33 farms. I'm up to 84 vills. Heresy, my opponent is grabbed. And I'm now grabbing handcart. I did put a stone wall here, so no more units could come running through there, but my monks are trapped on the other side. So there it is. Krebs are coming in. I'm obviously gonna see this. I am building stables down on the left-hand side, so this way I can try to get some cavalry to put some pressure back if I can. I did have some Shotel warriors chilling in queue in case stuff got rushed towards me, and I figured I'd send them out now in hopes that maybe the trebs aren't protected and they're just gonna get completely wasted. Not much damage. I mean, half of a treb went down, right? So, yikes. So 60, my opponent's at almost 70 vills. I'm, you know, narrowing in on 100. I have idled at this point. I am clicked up to Imperial Age, but I have already lost a castle. So no conscription or trebs for me. And the second one is now in danger of going down. And the organ guns are going to come forth. The monks are in a really bad position. They're in range of the organ guns. That conversion is not going to happen. So it is now on my crossbows to defend the base. And this is a very fragile castle. It's got no shot of staying up here. So I am castleless, and my opponent is now going to push into my base. I'm about to lose. I lost my relics. More organ guns are in queue. More coming in. I'm almost at Imperial Age, which at this point gets me Arbalist, which will be helpful if I can get enough arbs onto the field. So my secondary wall is now open. I'm trying to get some of the armor for cavalry at this point. I need to be able to rush in here from the side when I move forward with the arbs. So I'm just trying to stall whatever I can here. I don't realize that this castle's going. Obviously I can't see the foundation yet anyway, and now it's present. Arb is almost in. This is looking rough. This scout does see this castle now, so I'm like, all right, I gotta send these guys. I have to deny this castle. I can't have more organ guns coming out onto the field. So the organ guns are gonna bite on the cavalry. The arbalists come in, and they're gonna start working on the trebs. And I have enough to where they'll actually get some work in. And now that the organ guns are coming in, I'm trying to support my cavalry units, because they're not gonna last very long against this massive organ guns. So the most the treb's gonna do at this point is take some houses down. So might as well take care of the other units first. And this castle got denied. So I've given myself some breathing room, although I've lost a lot. I've lost my blacksmith, which I'm gonna need for the damage and armor upgrades. I've lost my monastery for the relics, and I think I've also lost my market at this point, so I don't have a market to balance my wood out right now, which is a bit of a problem. Unfortunately, I have enough wood to get all these buildings down. So I'm putting the monastery down. I want to get these relics back to my possession for the gold. Market is going up. I'm also really close to being housed. I was probably housed at one point during that, because that second castle was probably keeping me over the pop cap. So, a defensive castle being dropped by my opponent. and I found these vills sitting on my secondary gold. I don't have ballistics yet, so that really was painful to watch right there. Lot of cav. I'm almost at 200 pop, which feels pretty good. These vills have been quite busy out here, building more houses for me along with these stables. They're gonna come into play again here shortly. I'm not sure when I decide to start moving with them, but I'll try to keep an eye on the mini map. Jump back over there, but yeah, trying to build this mass back up. I'm sending these fills forward because I want them on gold. This gold has dried up, and we're getting low here. I'm dropping a castle. I need conscription at this point, and I also need to get some trebs down. I need to reject this castle and this town center. And 102 vills versus my opponent's 81. We're still idling, sitting around over here. We are getting blast furnace now. I probably should have grabbed bracer or whatever it was for the arbs. Okay. Siege workshop. We're very close to my opponent's walls, and I can see this. So I'm like, you know what? If I can put pressure here, right? I can try to bash the walls down at the same time. We're close enough. So I'm grabbing capped ram at this point, which obviously pretty solid upgrade. Will definitely allow me to get through these walls a little bit faster and eat up some of the damage that my opponent can put out. I'm putting out a second siege workshop too. These guys are elites. Opponent is booming here at home. I'm at the 200 threshold here, so I'm maxed out on units, and I don't even have trebs out yet. So I'm just now grabbing conscription. There's bracer, and we're upgrading for hussar, because what my thought process is here is if I bash these walls down, I can send some kind of force in here in hopes that my opponent isn't going to be ready for it. But my opponent does have like a somewhat of a secondary wall, and I obviously don't know that organ guns are sitting in here, and we are now grabbing siege ram. Huge upgrade. It will melt buildings and also do a pretty good job at tanking hits. Okay, so my opponent must have had some organ guns here, wanted to try and put some pressure, and that got denied. Obviously, these guys sitting under castle fire and town center fire is an idea. These walls go down, and siege ram is in. And right now, I really should be trying to click these to the back of my opponent's gates. And yeah, we're just not doing that. I guess I wanted to take them off gold. So we have some pressure there. I have freed up some of my cap. We do have some raids coming in here on golds, but definitely causing my opponent to react and returning the favor that was done to my base, right? So this is good pressure by me. Like I said, the siege ram is going to be able to soak up a lot of these shots from the organ guns and take some hits from the pikemen here. I believe I've set the rally point here for my cav units, but there's a bit of a snowball happening for my opponent, so I'm not really getting much pressure here. The arbs are taking out a town center, and I have trebs moving forward to try and deal with this castle. Getting my opponent off of this stone. There's a lot going on here. My opponent's trying to rebuild this wall, and I believe they will succeed at that because they've got the fortifications behind it. So I'm not really worried about trickle trebbing here because of the fact that my opponent's thinking about over here, right? And I've pretty much cleaned up the pressure that was over on this side, but gold is looking kind of rough for me here. I have 6 here. one there, and I have one person on stone. So my economy is kind of starting to go heavy into what would be for trash. So a lot on wood, a lot on food. But after this castle is down, I'll feel a little bit better about trying to secure these resources. My opponent's grabbing halberdier, which, you know what, that's fine for me. I know that I have, you know, light cav and stuff, but really that's for more of the raiding aspect. And there's nothing to save this castle. It will go down. So 3 trebs out on the field for me, and it is time to start looking at my opponent's base. Opponent's cap space obviously took a dive with that castle going down. They're getting another castle up at home, giving them a little more space. Trying to get some production buildings down. Oh wow, they left the sheep behind? It was probably because it was blending in with the snow. I feel like, you know, after doing a lot of Arabia, I'm like, oh man, it's cool to see snow, but that's always short-lived. It becomes more of like a nuisance trying to look around the map. But yeah, trying to treb in. I did target the houses, figuring maybe I can, you know, push some cap space or some pressure to come out and deal with this. This is a lot of military here. It's like 80 some units, I think. And then I have some more rams coming in. And I have 4 more in the queue. Love myself some siege rams. So this wall is officially breached. I can run in there, but that is very narrow corridor. But I can see far enough to realize that I can run in there. The organ guns do scare me off, though. I'm not ready to deal with that yet. So the rams are going to take down some more walls until I feel comfortable. I think it's probably time to move these trebs forward as well. And my opponent has a nice mass of military here. Obviously still making some of the elite organ guns. We're going heavy on houses. We're actually capped again. I knew that I probably would have kept working on the houses. We've also upgraded cavalry. More houses going down back here, so really the cap issue is going to be short-lived. Bring the arbs forward because I know that, you know, they can clean up the halbs easily, but they can also range the organ guns. The organ guns work really well in mass, so, you know, a lot of the organ guns will always be out of range to be able to do any damage. So here we are. I did lose quite a bit of cav units there. I'm trying to pull back. I bring in the cavalier. Siege rams marching forward, not a care in the world. And the cavalier are going to help draw the attention for some of the organ guns. And the arbs are going to be back into the fight after clearing up the halbs. And we have one hell of a battle happening here. Trebs are going after houses again. I've sent the siege rams to clear up these buildings, and I'm going to go for the castles next. And the organ guns are officially mopped up here. Two castles to keep producing organ guns, so, you know, they'll keep coming out. I am getting low on arbs, though, so, I mean, I guess I have a good number here still. I think there's 16. 30 are, you know, some of them are back here. So this ram is being marched forth to the castle, drawing a lot of attention. It's allowing the arbs to get in there and get some work. Not sure why the hussars are running in there to their death, but I wanted to get the organ guns cleaned up. Rams are just kind of running wild all over my opponent's base now. 2 more back here. That castle is in trouble. Going down. My opponent's trying to repair it, but it's gonna be too little, too late, especially with that siege ram there. I do lose a Treb, however. Bills are going after the ram, but castle does go down. GG is called. So yeah, that was a fun one. It felt good to get a win in arena. Oh, also trying to drop a castle here. Like I said, I've had a real struggle lately with arena, and I think it's because I've not been using a build order that's getting me to castle age quickly enough. So this one did it. It felt good, and you know, I had some pressure in my face, was able to push back, and yeah, did what I needed to do. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. For now, feel free to like, comment, consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Catch you all in the next one. Peace.